One of the most busiest teams in the transfer market this summer, of course, is Ajax, with incomings and outgoings. In today's video, we're going to discuss about the new era of Ajax Amsterdam, the new players that are coming in, the new manager that's coming in. Also, are Ajax now becoming big spenders in Europe? With a load of income in the last couple of seasons, are they now starting to use the money that they have got from players and spending it on the squad, mixed in with their brilliant academy, as we all know? Let's get into the video. Before we talk about the players that are coming to Ajax, let's talk about the players that are going away from Ajax. Of course, Lisandro Martinez gone for 55 million to Manchester United. Sebastian Haller went to Borussia Dortmund for 30 million, and all the best and prayers up for Sebastian Haller. Ryan Gravenberg goes 18 million. Maswari, for example, goes for a free. Onana goes to Inter for a free. So some of the big players, and obviously four of those players were starting in the starting 11 last year for Ajax, they all leave the club. And of course, the manager, Erik ten Hag. Now let's talk about the new arrivals to Ajax this summer. Steven Bergwijn coming from Tottenham Hotspur for 31 million. Calvin Bassey from Rangers for 23 million. Owen Wijnald from AZ Alkmaar for 10 million. And announced today or yesterday, whichever day you're watching the video, Brian Brobby for 17 million. He's coming back to Ajax from RB Leipzig. Also, there's been rumors of Conceição from Porto arriving to the side. Only for 5 million euros would be a great pickup, but we're not going to discuss about him too much. He's the one for the future, whereas the other players that they have signed up are for the now. So let's get to the squad. So when it comes to goalkeepers, Ajax, not the strongest position at the moment. Of course, they still have Bosver, still at 38 years old, good on his feet, but does he have the agility anymore as 38-year-old? Martin Stekelenburg, 39 years old, same sort of deal. I think he's going to be third choice goalkeeper. Now, could the emergence of Jay Gorter be the answer at starting goalkeeper? I think he started 1 or 2 games last season. He has started in a couple of the friendlies this summer for Ajax. He might be the answer, but I think at the beginning of the season, it would be Bosver. In defense, this is where now it gets a bit interesting. Obviously, Wijnald is going to come into the side, start immediately at left back. Now with Tagliafico leaving to Olympique Lyon. Tagliafico did amazing for Ajax, kind of at the end, was left out of the squad quite a bit. It was a little bit of a sad ending, but I think he gave us great services to Ajax. Obviously, Timber is going to start at center back. Now, the next center back, there's been Per Surs who's, talked about, I want to be starting center back. Calvin Bassey is going to start this center back. He's going to start at left center back. And I think this pickup of Calvin Bassey is a real statement from Ajax, because he was brilliant at Rangers. Yes, Europa League final, everybody saw it. What was the man of the match. No doubt about that, was man of the match. All season long, he could play left back, he could play center back. Physicality was amazing. Great in the air, just knew when to make a tackle. Always, it didn't seem like Calvin Bassey ever made a mistake with Rangers last season. Is he good on the ball? Somewhat good, but at Ajax, he's definitely going to develop that even more and more, and I think it's a great pickup from Ajax. They always talk about producing talent. Why not go get a talent from another club who's still at a good age? And that's what Calvin Bassey is. He's still at a good age. 4 or 5 years, he could be one of the best center backs and highly coveted center backs in all of Europe, and then Ajax could sell him for 60 million, just like Lisandro Martinez. But Calvin Bassey, fantastic signing from Ajax. Now with obviously Maswari going, it is going to be Rens starting at right back. I think he took some of the duties off of Maswari last season, and they kind of went back and forth with the starting right back position. But now Rens, that is his position to solidify. Only 19 years old, very highly talented, and he's going to have that position for many years to come. And let's see what happens to him. Now let's get to the midfield, right? The midfield is not the strongest at the moment for Ajax, I would say. As many years have gone by, we have seen how good the midfield can be. Obviously, Edson Alvarez, guaranteed starter, no questions asked, CDM, solidified, done deal. Now who's going to be the 2 other center midfielders? Are we going to see Steven Bergwijn once again? Are we going to see more of David Klaassen? Are we going to see more of Kenneth Taylor, who got some minutes last year? I think we could see a mixture of Kenneth Taylor. Also, I think it's now Kudus' time to shine. I've rated Kudus for many years, and I think that one injury he got for the long season, I can't remember which season it was, and I know he had the whole season, the injury, but Kudus is a very talented player, and I think he wants to make an impact on this side. And also because it is a World Cup year, he is going to be playing for Ghana. I think he will be starting for Ghana. I think Kudus is going to have a big season, and he might get a lot of minutes now with the new manager, and we're going to talk about the new manager soon, don't worry people. Then the forward line. Obviously we have Anthony I wish I could say more about Mohamed Darami from Denmark, but he just hasn't had that impact so far. Maybe he'll get some more minutes now with some outgoings from the side. Of course, Dusan Tadic. We know who two of those starters are going to be. It's going to be Antony and it's going to be Tadic. Now who's going to be the third guy? And I think that third guy will be Steven Bergwijn. Look, he wasn't the greatest at Tottenham. I don't think he got a fair shout. He had some big moments, but overall his play was lacking at Tottenham Hotspur. I think he can fit in perfectly well. Tadic at the false nine. Then you have Antony on the right. You have Steven Bergwijn on the left. I think it's a great forward line. Then you obviously can bring in Brian Brobbey. You can bring in Mohamed Darami. A lot of options for this Ajax side at the moment. So, yes, maybe Ajax paid a lot of money. 31 million for Steven Bergwijn. It is a lot of money. But he's only 24 years old. He could still become what... The thing is with Steven Bergwijn is, he shines in some moments and then he goes missing. Eredivisie, he could shine every game. He's going to have to step up big time in the Champions League for Ajax. Tadic, we know, excellent, getting old, but still a brilliant player. And Antony is going to keep getting better and better and better. And that's going to help Ajax as his transfer value will keep going up, and up. So overall, with these new signings, Calvin Bassey, I think is absolutely a brilliant pickup. Steven Bergwijn, I think is a good pickup. They paid a lot of money, but they're going to see value in it in the next couple of years. Owen Wijnaldum, the left back from AZ Alkmaar, straight into the left back position, was one of the most promising left backs in the Eredivisie last season. He is going to be a good pickup for Ajax. Of course, then Brian Brobbey, that was terrible business from Ajax. I'm not saying this transfer. They let him go to RB Leipzig. Then they have to pay him back. Then he got tired of RB Leipzig. Then they signed him again on loan. Then now they have to pay 17 million. That was probably one of the worst transfers in Ajax history based on a player leaving and then bringing him back. Terrible business. But Brian Brobbey brings that natural striker that if Ajax do need it at certain times in the season, he can even start for Tadic, or Tadic can go to the left and they can all rotate. He can be that. And Brian Brobbey is a very talented striker. He hasn't elevated to the levels we have seen at his youth levels, but there's no doubt a player in there. Now let's talk about the manager. New manager in for Erik ten Hag, who obviously went to Manchester United, Alfred Schreuder. And, you know, very familiar name with Ajax supporters. Was an assistant for Ten Hag from 18-19. Then he took over Hoffenheim, went terribly wrong. Then he went to be an assistant manager with Ronald Koeman at Barcelona, went okay. Then he got another managerial job at Club Brugge midway into the season, and he did an absolutely magnificent job because Club Brugge were not struggling, but they were in second, third position behind Union Saint-Gilloise, fighting for the Belgian league title. He came in, 21 games, 15 wins, 2 losses, 4 draws. They scored 40 goals and only conceded 14. So Alfred Schreuder plays the very similar formation. He can play 3-4-3, he can play 4-3-3, as we all are accustomed to when it comes to Ajax, and he just knows the Ajax philosophy. So leaves Erik ten Hag, in comes in Alfred Schreuder. I think it's a good hiring from Ajax. There wasn't a whole lot of managers else that they could go for. You know, Arne Slot at Feyenoord, they're not going to get him. I think this was the best hiring for Ajax, and will pay dividends in the next couple of years. It may take a while for the players to, you know, Erik ten Hag is a very demanding manager, as we have all seen. Alfred Schreuder, I don't know too much about him, but I know obviously of his time at Hoffenheim and Club Brugge, and I could just see that his philosophy works immediately with the team. I think it will be the same thing at Ajax. Overall, you have to say, Ajax have done brilliant business. This is not the same usual Ajax. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the most Ajax have ever spent in a transfer window. Ever in their club's history. If I'm wrong, please let me know, Ajax fans. In one summer transfer window, I think they've spent almost 85 million euros. 85 million euros on players into the club. Usually that's players leaving the club into the club. So are we seeing a new Ajax where obviously they get a lot of income from players they sell on. They rely on their brilliant academy, find the little talents from South America or in Europe and develop them and then sell them on. That's just the philosophy at Ajax. But now maybe Ajax are understanding, okay, football is evolving, as we can all see. It's all about money, money, money. You know, we're not going to spend crazy amount of money, spending 60, 70 million on each player. But if we can find a great player at 20 to 30 million, keep developing him, get him at a good age, like Steven Bergwijn and Calvin Bassey, for example, why not? I think Ajax are evolving. They're going to evolve. I don't think they're going to spend this much money again next summer, but we'll see. They're going to sell Antony, then they might sell another player. Who knows? But are Ajax now evolving? Let me know in the comments. Are they going to keep... They're going to keep relying on their academy. There's no doubt about that, because their academy arguably is the best in the world with producing talent each and every year. Each and every year. World-class talent. It's not just, one every 5 to 10 years like Liverpool, for example. It's every year. There's player leaves, they get one from the academy, he comes into the starting 11, boom, it's amazing. But now maybe they're just going to spend a little bit more money to make their starting 11 strong, but overall, throughout the whole squad, it's going to be mostly youth players. But let me know in the comments down below. Are you excited by Ajax this season with their new signings? I'm really excited to see Calvin Bassey. I think he's going to do brilliant, and I think Ajax fans are going to absolutely love this player. The way he can play center back or left back, I think he's going to definitely be a center back. Him and Timber as a center back pairing is going to be very, very strong. And not a lot of Eredivisie attacks are going to get past that defense. And I'm really excited to see that in the Champions League, how those two players will develop. And also Bergwijn, Tadic, and Antony front three, with the way they can interlink, the way with their movement, it's going to be scary as well. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And of course, if you want to see any other previews for this season for a certain team, the next team I will be doing is Borussia Dortmund, of course, with their new signings, a new manager. Is there a new philosophy? We're going to talk about that in the video, so stay tuned for that on Borussia Dortmund. Further ado, have a beautiful day, stay safe in this crazy world, and adios.